Communication language between road users. First section. Definition of communication language between road users. It is the language used between road users, between each other, which is understandable to all different languages and cultures, and it is the link of exchange information between them. Second section. Forms of communication language between road users. 1. Traffic signals for vehicles. Lights. A. Direction change lights. It is used to inform road users to be ready to turn or change lanes, which requires to look at vehicle mirrors to ensure safe transfer, and the most important things to do, use vehicle lights by a sufficient period to warn other drivers and pedestrians of your intention to change your direction. If you intend to turn right at an intersection and you come across another intersection that precedes the intersection that you intend to turn to, do not use direction right signal except after passing the first intersection. This will prevent any confusion for other drivers about where and when you actually will turn, and this requires you to use the signal by a sufficient period to warn drivers behind and in front of you that you intend to turn or change the lane. B. Speed reduction lights. It is used when using brake pedal to reduce the speed, where the lights appear directly to the rear vehicles to inform them that you are reducing the speed. If it is combined with the right direction light, it will be for informing them to stop, and if it is at approaching from an intersection, it will be for informing them of the turning. Each time you press on the brake pedal, your vehicle brake lights will turn on to alert other road users that you are reducing the speed of your vehicle or you're stopping. Therefore, you have to reduce your speed if the brake lights of the front vehicle are on. C. Front and rear lights. Using the front and the rear lights helps other road users to see you in the bad lighting conditions. Front and rear lights of your vehicle must be switched on between sunset and sunrise, and in risky weather conditions such as fog, rain, smoke, and sandstorms, and when it is hard for other drivers to see. D. Warning signal for lights flashers. They are the 4 direction lights used in cases of warning of a risk on the road. Cases of using warning lights in the vehicle. Vehicle fault on the road. Involving in an accident or emergency stopping, and there is no ability to exit it from the road. When moving on highways and found suddenly in front of you a traffic accident or any risk on the road, and you want to inform vehicles behind you of this risk to be warned of it. E. Overtaking signal. There are 2 overtaking signals given from the vehicle required to be overtaking to the vehicle that wants to overtake in case of invisibility of the vehicle that wants to overtake. Left signal, which means to wait a little, where overtaking at this moment is unsafe and must wait until the situation becomes safe to complete the process of overtaking. Right signal, which means it is allowed to overtake. F. Headlights and flashing warning lights. It is used by the rear vehicle to inform the front vehicle to give way to overtake. It is used also to alert the opposite vehicle of a risk on the road ahead. 2. Warning signals of special use. A. Military vehicles. Red and blue warning lights are used in police, internal security force, civil defense vehicles, and official ceremonies and processions. When vehicles use these lights, that means the vehicle is moving at a high speed and must give it way. B. Medical vehicles. Green warning lights are often used in ambulance vehicles and those used in medical purposes, patients transport. When vehicles use these lights, that means the vehicle is moving in an emergency mission at a high speed and must give it way. C. Service vehicles. Orange warning lights are used in these vehicles. When vehicles use these lights, that means the vehicle is moving at a slow speed and you can overtake it carefully, such as street cleaning and waste collection vehicles, vehicles equipped to tow faulty vehicles, vehicles moving at low speeds or its width is more than 30 meters, rescue and control vehicles, big shipment cars, tractor, trailer and semi-trailer, PWA vehicles. D. Vehicles operating in special areas. Yellow warning lights are used in these vehicles inside areas allocated to work in during its operation. It is prohibited to be used while moving on the public road, such as vehicles operating inside the airport and ports. Third section. Vehicle sound signals. A. Normal sound signal. This normal sound signal is used to warn others, either another vehicle or road user, of a risk to avoid its occurrence before it's too late. The horn is a type of warning device. It is an important part of communication, but it must be used reasonably and when necessary only to alert other road users of approaching of your vehicle or its position. There are signs to inform you not to use the horn in some areas, near hospitals, schools, worship places, or residential areas. B. High sound signal. High sound signal is used to inform others, either another vehicle or road user, of a message informing that there is a vehicle that needs to give it way because it's in an urgent mission. This sound signal is used in the following vehicles: ambulance, internal security force, patients transport, police, civil defense, official ceremonies and processions. Rules of using horns and lights on the road. It is prohibited to drive a vehicle on the road unequipped with a horn to warn of the risk of its approaching. Vehicle drivers are prohibited to use the horn except in case of imminent risk. It is prohibited to use the front and rear glare lights except in weather conditions that require it. It is prohibited to use any means of hiding vehicles' windows without a written permit. It is prohibited to drive a vehicle on the road within the period from sunset to sunrise or in bad vision because of weather conditions during day hours, except by using the following lights: headlights, The two rear lights. The rear number plate light. It is prohibited to switch on the glare light in case of stopping. Switch the glare light to headlights or position lights when meeting another vehicle at a reasonable distance to avoid sight glaring. No red light is prohibited to appear in the nose of the vehicle. It is sufficed with a white light in normal cases or yellow one in fog conditions. Driver of any vehicle stopping on a road unequipped with public lighting overnight or in daytime in bad vision has to remove it from carriageway and keep red light or reflector at its rear to warn road users of its existence. Vehicle driver has to adjust the glare light to be directed little to the right side of the road. First aid. First aid. It is the instant care of injured or patient at the arrival of medical assistance which contributes in preventing the deterioration of injured health condition. How to help an injured? Make sure that the place is clear of any risk on your life or injured life. Examine injured and check his degree of consciousness. Call ambulance 999. Aid the injured until the arrival of medical assistance. Cases that first aid helps in rescuing the injured. 1. Loss of consciousness. How to aid unconscious injured? Follow ABC steps. A. Airway. Open the airway, raising the chin and tilting head to back. In case of suspicion of injury of head or neck, push mandible forward without head tilt. Inspect for the foreign object, reason of suffocation. B. Breathing. 1. Look to his chest to verify its raising. 2. Listen to his breaths. 3. Feeling of air coming out from the injured mouth at your cheek for 10 seconds before deciding the loss of breathing. 4. If there is breathing, put the injured in the recovery position and examine him from time to time, and then start chest compression in case of absence of breathing. C. Circulation. Make sure of stopping external severe bleeding, fulminant bleeding, to be the circulation closed, and cardiopulmonary resuscitation (CPR) is useful. How to perform CPR? To make sure that there are no signs of response from the patient. 1. Make sure that the place is safe for you and the injured. 2. Make sure to lay the injured on his back on a solid and even surface. 3. Sit on your knees beside the injured and call him with a high voice to know whether he has response. 4. Cry, calling assistance, contact 999. 5. Opening the airway with the head tilt, chin lift maneuver. 6. Check if breathing is stopped for a period not exceeding 10 seconds. Looking, listening, and feeling. 7. Perform 30 compressions. Put your palm on the middle of the injured chest between the two nipples. Put the other palm on the first palm. Compress directly, quickly and strongly on the chest with a rate of 4 to 5 centimeters with each compression. Compress 100 compressions per minute approximately. After each compression, reduce pressure on the chest to allow it to return to normal position. 8. Give 2 breaths. Put your mouth on the injured mouth exactly and close both openings of the nose by your hand. Observe chest raising after each breath. 9. Repeat the process, 30 compressions and 2 breaths, until arrival of medical assistance. Injured gives signs of survival, reaching to a severe case of fatigue that prevents you from continuing in rescue. 1. Bleeding. How to stop bleeding? Direct compression on the place of bleeding. Do not touch blood directly. How to aid the injured in case of shock? Often, bleeding injured is subjected to a shock, which is the decrease of the amount of blood reaching to the brain. Shock symptoms are pallor in skin color, cold sweats, pulse acceleration and weakness, low blood pressure. To aid this injured, raise the 2 feet to push blood to the heart and brain. Nosebleed. Compress firmly on both sides of the nose of the injured for a few minutes, while sitting and inclined to the front and breathing through the mouth. 3. Burns. Cool burn immediately with cold water and not chilled water. Cover burn with a bandage or a dry non-stick sterilized piece of cloth. Move the injured to the hospital. 4. Eye injuries with chemical materials. Eye must be washed using plenty of water as quick as possible, making sure that the injured eye is direct down when washing to avoid transfer of the material to the uninjured eye during washing process. 5. Fractures and sprains. Do not move the injured organ. Fix the injured organ using splint without trying to return it to its normal position. For sprains, follow the following steps. Relaxation. Relax the injured person and prevent him from using the injured part. Ice. Put a bag of ice on the injured place to reduce the swelling and pain. Bandage. Wrap the injured organ with a bandage for 15 to 30 minutes to reduce the swelling. Raising. Raise the injured organ up at 45 degrees. Wrong behaviors on the road. 1. Spitting on the road. Some drivers spit from inside the vehicle during the drive, especially in busy streets or when stopping at traffic lights and public places. This is a wrong behavior, harms the feelings of others such as passers-by and other motorists, and this uncivilized behavior contributes in the accumulation of dirt and filth that lead to the spread of diseases and distortion of city view. 2. Throw of tissue papers or trash out of the car. There are those who throw tissue papers or trash such as cans, fast food, wastes from car window while driving. So always purchase a small bag for wastes because this behavior is inconsistent with the most basic teachings and customs and contrary to efforts and capabilities provided by the state to progress in all fields, especially tourism. Therefore, keep wastes in your car until reaching to the nearest waste basket to maintain a clear environment free of diseases. 3. Handicaps. The state secured the rights of handicaps and their involvement in public life through the enactment of appropriate laws and legislations. However, there are some irresponsible behaviors from the individuals that underestimate the exerted efforts. We see persons breach the simplest rights of handicaps, which are their car parking in ministries, government institutions, public and tourist places, markets, and airports. 4. Violation of red traffic light. Violation of red traffic light is one of the most traffic accidents that lead to financial, material, health, or mental damages, and it is considered a crime of attempted murder. Your continued behavior in failure to commit with a traffic light is considered a behavior that harmed the society of its danger and bad results. 5. Failure to move the vehicle from accident location. Failure to move the vehicle from accident location may lead to the occurrence of a serious accident, leads to deaths and obstruction of traffic motion, especially if there are no injuries. Move the vehicle to a safe place at the side of the road and wait the arrival of police. Failure to move the vehicle by the driver to the nearest service parking in case of occurrence of an accident or non-occurrence of injuries, with the possibility to move the vehicle, is considered a violation punishable by the law. 6. Pedestrians. Be ready for the appearance of pedestrians on the road at any time. Reduce speed at residential areas and densely populated areas, and pay attention always to pedestrians and bicyclists. Failure to respect pedestrians crossing is a wrong behavior, leads to hit pedestrians and subjects you to a traffic violation. Vehicle drivers have to reduce speed of their vehicles when approaching pedestrians crossing, populated areas, turns, curves, crossroads, intersections, roundabouts, bridges, tunnels, or when entering squares, approaching schools or hospitals to make sure of road safety. 7. Parking on sidewalks. Parking on sidewalks is uncivilized behavior, violating the law, and subjects other road users to risk. Sidewalk is a right for pedestrians to walk safely and not for vehicles parking. Sidewalks found for pedestrians. 8. Right overtaking. Overtaking at right of vehicles from service road or overtaking at intersections, roundabouts, traffic lights, or enter again to the road is considered a wrong behavior, leads to occurrence of accidents and obstruction of traffic motion. In addition, it is a behavior that leads to breach rights of others. 9. U-turning to the opposite direction. Moving of the vehicle driver out of vehicle's lane in which he moves by changing his direction, heading a side road or entering a place beside the road, exiting, turning or returning back without taking the necessary actions is considered a traffic violation. U-turning at the places separated by a central island on highways is considered a wrong behavior, lead to serious accidents. 10. Slow driving. Slow driving and failure to commit with the speed limits on highways is considered a wrong behavior, leads to traffic accidents. In addition, obstruction of traffic motion and the increase of delay time of other road users. 11. Using the mobile phone and sending messages. Using the mobile phone while driving and the distraction for seconds may lead to a traffic accident. Driving the vehicle and using the mobile cannot come together because of the caused distraction to driver attention and the inability to remain in the lane or move at suitable speeds. Also, using mobile while driving is a wrong behavior punished by the law by a traffic violation. 12. Sitting of children under 10 in the front seats. Sitting children in the front seat is a violation to traffic law because it constitutes risk and subjects them to injury and death sometimes by jumping from the seats out of the vehicle or pushing the child forward and collide with the internal parts. And sometimes he is subjected to throttling by the belt because of his young age. 13. Failure to wear helmet while driving the motorcycle. Traffic law in Qatar stipulates the need to wear head protective helmet by the driver and the passenger of suitable size. It must be worn firmly in a way that prevents it sliding from the head and the strap tied around chin properly. Make sure that your helmet meets all safety standards before purchasing. Replace fallen, scratched or damaged helmet in any accident. Use water and soap only in cleaning your helmet. (14) Inconvenience of road users. Some youth used to increase volume of car radios, especially at traffic lights or while driving in public market streets. This is an uncivilized behavior that disturbs other people. You have the right to listen to what you wish of music and different broadcast programs, but in appropriate way and at low volume. 15. It is prohibited to stop on the yellow box. Do not enter to the area of traffic intersection in case of stop of traffic motion, because of traffic jam in the direction you want to go, because entering to the area of intersection will cause blocking of the intersection and obstruct the road to others. 16. Failure to give way to vehicles that want to overtake your vehicle from the left side. In case of driving on a highway at the speed limit allowed to this road, this does not mean to keep driving at the left lane of the road and do not allow vehicles that want to overtake your vehicle to complete overtaking process. You cannot commit others with maximum speed limit of the road. There is someone else doing this job. Remember that there are other road users who have rights, and they have the right to not be obstructed. There are vehicles carrying persons in serious conditions. Do not be a stumbling block to save their lives.